All right, hello everybody. Today is July 15th, 2023, and today we're going to go to the Spartan Municipal Stadium, which this stadium is rich in NFL history. All right, we made it to the Spartan Stadium, so let's go take a look around. This is the original Spartan Stadium for the NFL. And outside the stadium, they have a sign here. It says Spartan Municipal Stadium, original home of the NFL's Portsmouth Spartans, Detroit Lions. And they have a historical marker outside of the stadium, the Ohio Historical Marker, Spartan Municipal Stadium. Opened in the fall of 1930, Universal Stadium became the home of the Portsmouth Spartans professional football team. Earlier that summer, the Spartans had just become a member of the National Football League, NFL. Led by a few local businessmen, the Portsmouth National Football League Corporation raised money to help build the permanent stadium for the Spartans. The stadium opened on September 14, 1930, as the Spartans defeated the Newark, New Jersey Tornadoes for their first NFL victory. 10 days later, the Spartans played one of the NFL's first night games against the Brooklyn Dodgers. The Portsmouth Times said night football has come to stay, at least in Portsmouth. From 1930 to 1933, the Spartans compiled a record of 19 wins, 2 losses, and 4 ties at Universal Stadium. And they have a picture of the stadium here, and it does look to be from June 24, 2003. And this is the other side of the historical marker. It says the most famous game played at Universal was on December 4th, 1932. The Spartans, with just 11 men, defeated the world champion Green Bay Packers 19-0. In Portsmouth, the game is simply known as the Iron Man game. In 1934, the franchise was sold and the team moved to Detroit. They were renamed the Detroit Lions. Portsmouth was to become the last small town in Ohio to have an NFL franchise. In August of 1970, the name of the stadium was changed to Spartan Municipal Stadium to honor the NFL team that called Universal Stadium home for 4 years. It is one of the oldest NFL stadiums still in use, and its field is still used to play football. And these are 3 football players, and this says, "Stars from Another Era." And this is the front of the Municipal Stadium, the entryway. And from my understanding, there was a piece done on WSAZ about the city trying to renovate this particular stadium, which I believe they should, since it is so rich in NFL history. And today the stadium is still actually in use for the Notre Dame Titans football team, and that is a community football team here in Portsmouth, Ohio. But some opposition players and teams do not want to come here and play simply because of the condition of the actual stadium. And this was reported by WSAZ. And this is one of the entryways to the actual stadium itself. We won't be able to go inside, but we still get a good little look into it. They have some locks here. And this is the symbol for Notre Dame, I do believe, a football team here, local football team. And this gives you a little glimpse inside the entryway. And they do have some windows boarded up here, and a little beehive going up in the corner. And we'll go down here and take another look inside of one of the entryways. Just looking at the stadium from this angle, you could tell it's definitely needing some repairs. And I do believe this is the bleacher section of the stadium. Just looking underneath. And the owner of the stadium is City of Portsmouth. The capacity of the stadium is 8,500, and the surface in which they play football on is grass. And this is a view of the actual field, and this is where the fans would sit along this way here as well as it goes up this direction. Won't be able to get on the field. They have a fence and it has a lock on it, but this gives you a little view of the actual field itself. And this is another view from the inside, and I'm going to assume that would be concession stands. I've never actually been inside the stadium or watched a football game here, but that looks to be the concession area. And this is another view of the actual football field, and they have a goal post right in that direction. The end zone area. And this is the other side of the stadium here, and you can see the press box up there, and it says Notre Dame, and you could tell it definitely does need some repair. And there is seating for fans, and this is the football field in which the Spartans would have played. And this appears to be the electrical box, perhaps controlling the lights here at the Spartan Stadium. And I must say, it does look pretty aged. And these are the lights at the stadium. And a little bit more history on the Spartans and the stadium. The Spartans formed in 1928 when the team began importing players from defunct independent professional and semi-professional teams. The following year, Portsmouth residents agreed to fund the construction of a football field stadium that was comparable to those in neighboring communities along the Ohio River. And the stadium most certainly needs some cleanup for sure. And once again, the Spartans played on this field from 1930, 1931, 1932, 1933, and 1934 they relocated and became the Detroit Lions. And this is a beautiful view of the actual stadium. You got a wall going around here, and you have the American flag up here. And right down this path here, you have the Grant Bridge, and they have a mural with the Spartan players on it, which we're going to go to. And we're going to say goodbye to the Municipal Stadium and go check out the mural downtown on the flood wall. And me personally, I believe the NFL should step in, perhaps reserve some history for the NFL. And let's go to the flood wall. And we're making our way to the Portsmouth murals by famed artist Robert Dafford. And we made it to the murals here in Portsmouth, Ohio on the flood wall. And one thing about the Portsmouth murals, they have these little diagrams here that you can actually read about the history, which we've already been over. But this is the Portsmouth Spartans, and this is their mural. And we'll get up and take a closer look. And I also want to do a side note here. The Portsmouth Shoe Stills of semi-professional football began in Portsmouth in 1910. At least 5 different semi-pro teams were organized over the next 20 years. So let's go take a little closer look at the Portsmouth Spartans mural. And this is the mural here, and it does say "Gone but not forgotten." The Spartans were admitted to the NFL in 1930. The first night football game, once again, in the NFL was played between the Spartans and the Brooklyn Dodgers in 1930. And I must say this mural is done very well, and it does say the Portsmouth Spartans franchise became the Detroit Lions in 1934. Alright, hope you enjoyed that history on the Spartans football stadium and the Spartans team. If you're ever in Portsmouth, Ohio, most people come to the mural, but just go right down the street there and you'll see the actual stadium itself, which is nice to see. So if you don't mind, please subscribe, leave comments, ring the bell, whatever you like to do there. And most of all, thank you so much for watching. Alright, bye-bye.